The private sector jobs numbers just dropped. They did an adjustment for May, and they're talking about how June is down from the forecast that they had. But this is what Donald Trump is posting on his Lie Social post. We're going to get into the jobs number, and we're going to talk about the weakening dollar. But this is what he is posting. Trump was right about everything. This is what he is putting on his Lie Social page because he needs to keep his cult fed with this type of propaganda so that they are not paying attention to what is going on in the economy. This is the very first thing that I see when I open up his Lie Social page. Gas prices are at a 4-year low. But if the economy is suffering, if people are losing their jobs, does the gas prices being at a 4-year low really make a difference if people can't afford to go anywhere? All right, now let's get into some of these job numbers. This clip here of Maria Bartiromo of Fox News getting the jobs number live is hilarious because she thought that the jobs number was going to be high. She gets the numbers, she says the numbers, and then she quickly transitions off of the numbers. We're going to watch this clip really quickly.
Now to get the jobs numbers for the month of May. The expectations call for the ADP numbers to be up 95,000 for the month of June, rather. It's the June jobs data, and we'll, of course, right now seeing the number actually show a decline in jobs, down 33,000 on ADP. The bill includes $25 billion for the Golden Dome, the missile defense system.
You see how quickly she left those jobs numbers alone? She quickly transitioned right back to this big, beautiful bust of a bill and the Golden Dome because she does not want the Fox viewers to get confused. Like, I thought y'all said that everything was going right. Y'all had to see that in 4K. But now let's look at what's going on. All right, so this one is from CNBC. The private sector lost 33,000 jobs in June, badly missing expectations for a 100,000 increase. This is from ADP. Private sector hiring unexpectedly contracted in June, payrolls processing firm ADP said Wednesday. It's a potential sign that the economy may not be as sturdy as investors believe. Private sector hiring unexpectedly contracted in June, payroll processing firm ADP said Wednesday, and a possible sign that the economy may not be as sturdy as investors believe as they bid the S&P 500 back up to record territory to the end of the month. Private payrolls lost 33,000 jobs in June, the ADP report showed, the first decrease since March 2023. Economists polled by Dow Jones forecast an increase of 100,000 for the month. And this is the part that's important for you to see. The May job growth figure was revised even lower to 29,000 jobs added from 37,000. I added this part because some of these numbers, some of these job losses hadn't caught up to the record keeping. So now the actual figures are finally showing up in the data and on the payrolls. Though layoffs continue to be rare, a hesitancy to hire and a reluctance to replace departing workers led to job losses last month, Neela Richardson's ADP chief economist said in a press release published Wednesday morning. To be sure, the ADP report has a spotty record on predicting the subsequent government jobs reports, which investors tend to weigh more heavily. May's soft ADP data ended up differing significantly from the monthly jobs report figure that came in later in the week. This week's government non-farm payrolls report will be out on Thursday, with economists expecting a healthy 110,000 increase for June per Dow Jones estimates. Okay, we'll see. Economists are expecting the unemployment rate to tick higher to 4.3% from 4.2%. Some economists could revise down their jobs reports estimates following the ADP's data. Weekly jobless claims data is also due Thursday, with economists penciling in 240,000. This is a string of labor stats comes during a shortened trading week, with the market closing early on Thursday and remaining dark on Friday in the honor of the 4th of July. Something that I wanted to add from the subreddit Fed Employees. I saw this post yesterday. Someone asked the question, has being a federal employee ever been this bad? Just as the title states, has being a federal employee ever been this bad? I remember reading somewhere that federal employees once were treated poorly under another administration, but has it ever been this brutal? I know there's also been discussions that things could go back to normal after the next administration takes over, such as allowing remote work to come back. Does anyone believe that could be true, or do we think it'll remain the same? There's a reason why I'm putting this in here. I wanted y'all to see this answer. Sensitive Advisor says 34 years and I took the fork offer. If you remember the fork in the road where it was basically saying respond to this and take an early buyout. She says, I took the fork offer. I didn't want to return to office. Saw the handwriting on the wall. Fortunately, I was eligible for 12/14 and I'm on the books until 12/31. So this woman is going to be paid until December and she's not working right now. Please know and understand that I don't know all of these letters, but this person, Striper Hearing, says same, 36 years in MRA, took DRP 2.0, and she's retiring in 12/31. So these people are retiring. They know that they're retired. They're not working, but these numbers are not going to show up right now. And so is the person at the bottom. They're being furloughed, so they're still technically on the books. So some of these numbers might look okay for the federal government, but many of these people are not working. So by the end of the year, the jobs numbers are going to completely collapse. Some of it's just being padded simply because there are severance packages for these people. Now I want to talk about the value of the dollar. The US dollar has fallen at the fastest clip since 1973. Here's what that means. Some global investors no longer expect the United States economy to outperform the rest of the world. Trump wants the United States to increase its exports and lower its imports. Thanks to a historic decline in the value of the US dollar, he may get his wish, but at a cost he may not have anticipated. Over the past 6 months, the dollar has declined more than 10% compared with a basket of currencies from the U.S. major trading partners, something it has not done since 1973. Today, it sits at a 3-year low. The simplest explanation for the decline is that global investors now expect the United States economy to no longer outperform the rest of the world as a result of Trump's tariffs and worsening fiscal issues. Even with the United States stocks returning to record highs, the return on other countries' equities has been even stronger. Meanwhile, the return on lending to the United States is expected to decline as growth here slows. It wasn't supposed to be this way. Many, including members of Trump's own cabinet, assumed his tariff strategy would strengthen the value of the dollar relative to foreign currencies. The thinking behind it was that as American consumers began to purchase fewer foreign goods, those other countries' currency would weaken relative to the dollar. Instead, the opposite has occurred. United States growth prospects have weakened, in part because of Trump's tariffs. That has made U.S. debt relatively less attractive for foreign investors, especially compared with returns on lending to other countries like Germany and Japan that are now expected to experience higher growth. In theory, the advantage of a weaker U.S. dollar is that it makes goods produced in the United States more attractive to foreign markets. Yet it's too soon to say whether that is occurring. In anticipation of Trump's tariffs, U.S. firms massively increased their imports in the first 3 months of this year to avoid paying the new duties, and it will be weeks before second quarter data is released. Even then, that data will likely only show a snapback effect from the first quarter's upswing. And while Trump has announced a flurry of new investments designed to beef up U.S. production capacity, many of those endeavors are months or even years from coming online. And that's another thing. So I just talked about the data and how it's being fluffed up about the Fed employment numbers. The same thing is going to happen with these tariff numbers and how everybody bought all of this stuff. So there is still things on the shelves. There is still production of things being done because people bought stuff in advance. They bought the things that they need for inventory in advance. But what's going to happen as these ports are bringing in less goods from other countries, as truckers get less things to take here and there and everywhere, stores are going to get less things to stock on shelves. It is about to be a struggle come school time and the holidays. It's about to get very, very tight. But this is what this demented dude is posting. Trump was right about everything. Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis are extremely proud of having an alligator Alcatraz concentration camp in Florida. They are happy at the prospect that migrants might get torn to shreds by alligators. Well, Donald Trump was asked a question from a Fox News Channel reporter. The question was about detainees, how long they would be at this concentration camp. That was the question. How long will detainees be at this concentration camp? And his answer is absolutely stunning. His answer is about 2 minutes to get through. You have got to listen to this. The question, once again, how long will the detainees be housed at this concentration camp? And his answer is this.
Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News Channel. Mr. President, is there an expected time frame that detainees will spend here, days, weeks, months? And does that have anything to do with the immigration judges you just spoke about being trained and staffed here?
When you say, what was the first part of your question?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees to spend here? Days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Yes, here at Alligator Alcatraz.
I'm going to spend a lot. Look, this is my home state. I love it. I love your government. I love all the people around. These are all friends of mine. They know them very well. I mean, I'm not surprised that they do so well. They're great people. Ron has been a friend of mine for a long time. I feel very comfortable in the state. I'll spend a lot of time here. I want to, for 4 years, I've got to be in Washington, and I'm okay with it because I love the White House. I even fix up the little Oval Office. I make it, it's like a diamond. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It wasn't maintained properly, I will tell you that. But even when it wasn't, it was still the Oval Office, so it meant a lot. But I'll spend as much time as I can here. You know, my vacation is generally here because it's convenient. I live in Palm Beach. It's my home. And I have a very nice little place, nice little cottage to stay at, right? But we have a lot of fun, and I'm a big contributor to Florida, pay a lot of tax. And a lot of people move from New York, and I don't know what New York is going to do. A lot of people moved to Florida from New York, and it was for a lot of reasons, but one of them was taxes. The taxes are so high in New York, they're leaving. I don't know what New York's going to do about that, because some of the biggest wealthiest people and some of the people that pay the most taxes of any people anywhere in the world, for that matter, they're moving to Florida and other places. So we're going to have to help some of these states out, I think. But thank you very much. I'll be here as much as I can. Very nice question.
Now, for the MAGA supporters, would you trust this man to plan a Thanksgiving dinner? Would you trust this man to open up a lemonade stand on time? Would you trust this man to lock the door when it's time to, close up shop at night? Would you trust this man to get money to a bank that's supposed to be put in for a deposit? But he has nuclear codes, and he is in charge of millions upon millions of people's lives, and he cannot answer a question. This should be like the people that voted for this and that are proud that they have this Tangerine tyrant in charge. I hope that you are proud of yourself, but you know that you wouldn't trust this man to do anything vital that would protect you from anything. You know that you wouldn't let him manage your money, yet you put him in charge of America.